Bitcoin whales keep buying as 100 plus BTC addresses set new record. We always knew. We know behind the scenes they're buying Bitcoin. They want that Bitcoin to skyrocket while they chase the regular people away. Look at the setup. All these mainstream websites and article writers speaking down on Bitcoin, which is going to cause what? That causes people to sell their Bitcoin and run away, but that's up to them, not financial advice. Whatever. People do what they want. But while they're doing that, see the game that's being played. They're buying Bitcoin, the big timers. Why? Because and that's why you see so much resilience in Bitcoin. Oh, it's 80. What did it go to the low of 84s, 83, something like that? That's not even that bad. Then it went back up to 90, 92, 93, 90, 92, 93, 91. Resilience. Why? Because although they want to manipulate the market, they only need a little bit to manipulate the market. Little dip, they'll push it real far. Meanwhile, they were accumulating the entire time in preparation for a $200,000 Bitcoin. You think that's difficult? Folks, I would have to respectfully disagree. You think $200,000 Bitcoin is difficult? You got states wanting Bitcoin. You have central banks playing with Bitcoin. That's going to skyrocket in the future. If you think central banks who are buying up all the gold to protect themselves from what? Now, don't get me wrong. I love gold. But there's certain things you can do with Bitcoin. You want to play with Bitcoin that you don't want to play with gold. They're going, in my humble opinion, you could disagree, they're going to go 100% heavy, hardcore with Bitcoin. And that makes a $200,000 Bitcoin easy at some point. That's why they're so giddy. All the big companies are so giddy. They're all predicting major explosions in Bitcoin. You have all the major banks. You know, Van Eck came out the other day. They're talking unbelievable numbers by 2050. But if they're predicting over $1 million Bitcoin by 2050, then what's going to happen in a year or two? Then that makes a $200,000, maybe 220K Bitcoin seem like maybe it might happen quite easily in the next few years, especially if you get the support of banks. Well, and I'll say this. Listen, I've been into gold for so long, folks. I remember when people were telling me that gold would never go over $2,500. I was there for that years and years and years ago. And now gold has shattered $3,000, shattered $4,000. That's because of central bank buying. When central banks or any banks start to get involved heavily with Bitcoin, and they will, kabloom. I got caught in between saying kablooey and kaboom. It happens, folks. Somebody was like, what was that, Mick? Hey, I made it work. All right, let me read this little tidbit to you here. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're cool. We're cooking here. I'm giving you some good news. Hopefully, I'm a little entertaining. I don't know. Maybe I'm entertaining. You might hit that like button. So hit that subscribe button. We're going to go straight to you and me. Just you and me. We're going straight to the top. And you can say you were here early. The number of Bitcoin addresses holding at least 100 BTC has climbed to a new all-time high, according to on-chain data from Bitcoin Magazine Pro, pointing to continued. Who is this, Bitcoin Magazine? Talk to them. Tell the people out there, Bitcoin Magazine. I'm a little excited, folks. Yeah. So, where did we leave off? Pointing to continued accumulation among large holders. You don't say. Why is that? Because they know what's coming. They know they're not going to leave that money on the table. They're not. And I believe, once again, not financial advice, just my humble opinion. I only speak for me. I believe Bitcoin is going to be easy money for maybe the next year or two. No, I don't believe it's going to last forever. I'm not one of those people. I'm not. Because institutions are going to take over. And when they fully take over, I think the fun is going to end. I do. I know how they play. And right now, you still have that volatility. You still have that, I don't know about Bitcoin energy going on. And that's when you get the biggest skyrockets because it's still beginning. But at some point in the future, they're going to act to stabilize Bitcoin. And then it's like, oh, man, Bitcoin. Oh, man, I remember when Bitcoin, looking back, I remember when Bitcoin was, when it had all this volatility, you used to have these big explosions. People won't even believe it in the future. the big explosions that used to happen. It'll seem unreal even if they look it up. So I believe that that's what we're going to go through, and you'll reach extreme stabilization. Bitcoin will become boring. So yeah, I do believe, once again, not financial advice. Do what you want to do. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm just a researcher, and I bring you my opinion. That's it. But I do believe people only have like a year or two. But let's continue on here. The metric tracks the total number of unique Bitcoin addresses with balances of 100 BTC or more. And the beautiful thing about that is, of this particular aspect, even though institutions are taking over, is that it doesn't matter what retail, in my humble opinion, it doesn't matter what retail does. Like I said, it's going to be easy money because of institutions. The institutions are here not just for retail. They'll take retail's money, but they could take retail's money in any way that they want. It's easy to, I believe this is how they think. It's easy to manipulate and pump retail with any asset. You just get them hype enough. That's not what they're here for. They'll take that as well. They're here for the small and medium-sized businesses, and any business that's not a large asset manager or large bank. They're here for that, because a lot of that capital that they have, they just have it sitting around. They're wasting it. And they see that and they're like, wait a minute, we can take those trillions off of them. And they plan to do it. Now, whether they accomplish this or not, it's anyone's guess. But they plan to do it with Bitcoin because they know Bitcoin is such a delicious lure. It is. And it will make them some capital. But they're looking at it like as a chess match. Okay, we'll set a trap, lure them in. They will make some capital, but in the end, we'll take all of that from them. That's how they're looking at it. And those small and medium-sized businesses globally, they're coming. They're coming. And they're going to make that Bitcoin price explode. And BlackRock and Vanguard and Valkyrie, they will sell on them and take all that capital. It's just a matter of if the regular people are involved and get some of that capital as well. Everybody's going to be running out of the proverbial bank, the metaphorical bank, holding piles of cash for that short time. It's like one of those game shows. Remember that? A long time ago, they had game shows. You'll run into a store, grab as much food as you can in like a minute, and whatever you grab, you can keep. Or they will have you go into a cash machine. There's cash blowing everywhere, and you run into the cash machine and grab as much as you can. That's sort of like what this period is going to be, because of that particular setup, if what we're seeing is true. So now you have it. They're still accumulating. Bitcoin is super bullish. You tell me what you believe in the comment section, or you can tell me just by hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. I'll see you next time. And now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it, folks. So until next time, let's get to the money.